Welcome everyone to another video, and today's video we're going to be taking a look into the biggest potential airdrops to focus on. So there is a lot of talk around, say, like a lot of different Solana airdrops. I've even dropped a video on my channel as well, or multiple ones talking about different ones that you could potentially get. But I think it's worth most of your time to actually look elsewhere, because most of the big airdrops that we have seen have come from Ethereum based dApps as well as Ethereum layer 2s. So for example, Arbitrum, when they did their airdrop, the lowest tier that you could get was 1,250 ARB tokens that were sent to you. And at the price of the airdrop day, that was $1,687. Optimism, they airdropped the average person like 776 OP tokens, which was worth on airdrop day roughly $1,086. Basically, when you see airdrops anywhere else, they're nowhere near that amount, and I think this is the place that you should be focusing mostly on if you want to sort of like maximize how much of an airdrop that you actually want to get. If you've got limited capital, then you've got to focus on some key areas. So a valuable place to go for searching for airdrops is to go to DeFi Llama. They have their own little airdrops category here. But I use this to just take a look at the Ethereum layer 2s that are live right now and ones that don't have tokens. So I wanted to talk about ZK Sync Era first. So this is something that I've talked on my channel before, how to get started with the ZK Sync ecosystem. I released that like at least 6 months ago. So I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. And so if you wanted to go ahead and start using ZK Sync Era, I think the main dApp to use is going to be Satori Finance. So Satori Finance is a perpetual futures DEX, and it doesn't exist only on ZK Sync. It exists on several different other Ethereum layer 2s as well, mainly just ones that are ZK rollups. But it's a decent DEX, and you can start running volume for it, and that will put you in good stead for potentially getting a ZK Sync airdrop. Now the next one I wanted to talk about is Starknet. So again, this is another ZK rollup. They raised a ton of money as well, and I think the place to go will be RabbitX, because RabbitX have openly advertised that they're doing airdrops for people depending on like how much volume they put in, how much money you're actually making, how much RBX tokens you hold as well. But they will be doing further airdrops for you if you're actually trading on that platform. The next airdrop I wanted to talk about is Scroll. So Scroll, again, it's another ZK rollup. I know that they're quite popular. So you can go on this page and just take a look at like, what's here. So you can click on various different ones and see if they actually have a token or not. So Sync Swap, for example, that exists on like ZK Sync Era, Scroll, and I think Linear. And so that might potentially do an airdrop, but you can't go wrong with just going back to Satori Finance. The next potential airdrop I wanted to talk about is Base. So these next two ones, I'm not 100% sure they're going to do a token, whereas I'm almost certain that ZK Sync, Starknet, and Scroll will airdrop tokens. Base is one that I'm not certain about, and this is because of the fact that it's being developed by Coinbase, and Coinbase is a stock that is listed on the US markets, and so they're under a lot of regulatory scrutiny. And so I believe it's infinitely less likely that they airdrop a token than like Scroll, ZK Sync, or Starknet. But there's always a chance that they will do it. And so you just want to put yourself in that position to potentially profit from it. Even if they don't, InfiniteX will give you tokens. So this is a perpetual futures DEX here on Base. This is something that I'll probably do a review on in the future, and I think it's probably something that you should start trading because they have a ton of trading pairs and it seems fairly liquid compared to some of the other perpetual futures DEXs out there which have long tail assets and not a lot of liquidity. So as you can see here in their phase 1 open beta, so people who participate get the share of the XINTX rewards, and so that will be retroactively airdropped to traders in the open beta once emissions start in phase 3. And so they're currently in phase 1, so you can definitely go in and start using it in InfiniteX for a potential airdrop, and then you put yourself in a position to potentially get that base airdrop too. Now, the next one is linear. And so I think of linear similarly to base in terms of like the chances that I give that I actually will do an airdrop. And so linear is another ZK rollup, and it's being developed by Consensus. If you're not familiar with Consensus are the guys who brought you MetaMask, right? They're quite a good company. They've done a lot for the ecosystem, right? And so they've launched their own layer 2. And again, you can use SyncSwap for this. I think that would probably be your best choice out of all the other, nonsense that you see here. But again, you can just use Satori Finance to actually start trading on linear and potentially put yourself in a position to get the Satori airdrop and the linear airdrop. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about is the Polygon ZK EVM. So if you don't know, Polygon is launching their own ZK rollup layer 2, and basically you can use Satori Finance for that as well. So you could set up different wallets in Satori Finance that use it on ZK Sync, Scroll, Linear, and the Polygon ZK EVM. So my optimism surrounding the potential Polygon ZK EVM airdrop is low because they already have a Polygon token. It's Matic. But they are rebranding it to, the ticker is POL. And I don't know if they'll be airdropping additional tokens to people who use the Polygon ZK EVM. I think the likelihood is low, but there's always a chance, and then you're still using Satori Finance anyway. And so why I've mostly just gone through perpetual futures dexes here is the fact that you can use them to get volume in quite easily. And also the fact that, let's just say you want to do some airdrop farming, but you don't particularly want your sort of airdrop capital to go up or down based on the fluctuations of the market. So you can set up delta neutral positions using these various different perpetual futures dexes in order to just keep your capital amount the same. So let's just say, for example, you have $1,000. So I'll give you an example here. You can split that $1,000 four ways. So $250 on Satori Finance on ZK Sync, $250 on RabbitX, which is Starknet, and then another $250 for Satori Finance for Scroll, and then $250 for IntentX on Base. So what you could do, so with those $250 on Satori Finance for ZK Sync, you can go long, and then on Scroll you could also go long, and then $250 short on Ethereum on RabbitX, and then $250 short on IntentX. So you've got $500 long total and $500 short total. And then when you add those together, you're netting a $0 exposure to the price of Ethereum, while simultaneously getting in volume, getting in transactions, and potentially putting yourself in the line for an airdrop for Satori Finance, RabbitX, IntentX, ZK Sync, Starknet, Scroll, and Base. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one.